All right, go ahead.
Anything in particular stick out when you went back and watched the film?
No, nothing. Nothing I didn't expect after being in the game, things like that. We were just we played a good football team. We played a good game. Executed well on a lot of phases of the game, and need to improve in a lot of areas too. But it was a great team win, and the way it was accomplished with, we had the explosive plays, we had good defense. Probably should have done a lot better on special teams because we gave away the muff punt. That gave them an opportunity to get back in the game. But the upside of that is when we countered back and held them out of the end zone and regained momentum. So all those things came into play, and that's why it was a very good win. And how it got done is just as important as what got done.
If neither Tyler or Trevor can go this week, what's the plan behind Nick McKay?
I like the word he was saying, still being assessed. Yeah, I don't have a great answer for you right now. We were talking about that this morning, and I was thinking about it yesterday. You might tap into your freshman world, and so we'll see where they're at tomorrow's practice. I would hope we get one of the two back. I don't know if we'll get either of them back, but I would hope that we get one of the two back. But I think I'll have a better handle on that tomorrow.
Would that be a case where maybe a Sam Schnee or maybe even moving Trevin Alexander back to just an emergency role?
Well, you're on top of it. Yeah, it's we talked about Sam, we talked about Alexander, and but he's over on defense right now, so that's where we really got to see. I think we'll get one of the two back. Is as much hope as it is a possibility, but McCabe ran very well. So who that third guy is, Sam played it. We do have a couple freshmen. Kendall played it. Robinson from Waterloo, and then Cameron Baker played tailback as well.
Again, about what was the injury to Trevor and to Hoosman, and how are they? What's kind of the status that you know?
Trevor, they took his helmet. They took his helmet from him, so that kind of clarifies that one. But because he got hit pretty good on that play, and then the other one was more of an ankle sprain. So I think both. It was as good as news you get on Sunday, but you still have to wait on both those kind of injuries. There's a lot that happens on Monday and Tuesday before they can run again, and in particular for the running back and those types of injuries, it's critical to that position, both of them. So that's why I anticipate getting one of them back. I still don't know about two. And then, like you said, at the running back, just to clarify for the downtime here was, we're looking at Cameron Baker out of high school, Kendall Robinson out of high school, Sam Schnee out of high school. They were all running backs out of high school, and so was Trayvon Alexander. But Trayvon's playing defense right now, so that's a little bit harder transition for him, and it would actually make us do some things on defense because he's playing very well on defense right now. So we'll wait and see what happens before we make that final choice, see what the game plan looks like, and then I'll put it together from there.
Is it one of those things, if you move a guy in there, it's more pass blocking than maybe actually running between the tackles?
Why do you think that? Because we're you're starting to make game plans now. We're going to yeah, you got to protect. You got to be tough to play that position. There's blocking to deal with. There's protections to deal with. There's running and counters to deal with, and there's it's more than just what it was years back, where you could get a running back and go the direction of the play. But right now, that running back to us, with the way that we are throwing the football, it does deal with protection. I was just kidding, but it does, and protection is probably the tougher thing of the two, because you just don't walk in there and try to protect against some of these defensive linemen that are coming down on you. So we've got a work cut out on that one. That one, I wasn't prepared for that one. I thought we had enough running backs going into this football season, but we ran out of those, and it kind of quantifies losing the tight ends as well, because that's all protection. So it kind of makes you alter your plan a little bit, but we'll have to be creative.
With that, Nick is a guy that emerged in preseason camp. How is he? He got a little playing time early on. He's been on special teams. How has he developed in the 9 games, I guess?
Well, he played early, and then I was actually contemplating redshirting him. Glad we did now, because he was a big factor in that game to finalize that football game. And the more reps he gets, the more productive he'll be, because he just needs that time to get the reps during practice that maybe he hasn't been getting, and start getting back into game form as a running back. He's been doing all the special teams for us, but he'll get his opportunity this weekend. But the great thing about him is he's very tough, and so he handles that phase of the game and the protection phase of it, and that part of the game he's truly up on. So we'll just have to see what more we can use him for, what he can handle. But like I said, I would think we could do everything with him that we were doing with the other two.
It looked like on Saturday, Illinois State with that three-man front, they were dropping eight quite a bit. That was something earlier in the year that the offense struggled with against Idaho State. We talked about it then. Sure seems like you guys have made some strides against that type of plan from the opponent, dropping eight.
Yeah, I thought the offense really performed well. That's the intriguing part to me, was they performed well against a great defense. It wasn't. Sometimes you wonder, you look at the opponent as much as the production, and that was a great defense. That defense was leading FCS in sacks, and I do not believe we gave up a sack that day. And they did rush 3 because they were trying to sit back and spy the quarterback, that type of stuff. So you have to find the windows, you have to have the plan, and you have to have the receivers to make the plays, and we did all those things. I thought Sunni Lane, his production that day really helped. We got the ball to Isaiah, of course, so we will get the ball to him, but I thought Sunni Lane really countered what they were doing with Isaiah Weston, and Aaron Graham has really became a very big part of this whole thing, because he kind of is that piece of the puzzle that makes it all fit because of what we ask him to do. He's very multiple, and he has to play multiple positions, so the intelligence is just as important as the talent, and he's handled it very well, and allowed us to do some things using Isaiah, and now Sunni kind of stepped to the forefront.
Wednesday night, FCS playoff selection committee is going to release their first rankings. It's kind of like a grade. Do you guys look at that a lot, or does it mean a lot, or is it just something where where they're thinking?
It's really the first. I saw the article, and I did not know they did that they're releasing it Wednesday. So I don't watch much of that anymore. With our strength of schedule, if we just do our job, all those things will fall in line. So it's more just getting our job done. If we don't have the strength of schedule we have, you're going to start to wonder who's doing what and that type of stuff. But with our strength of schedule, we just gotta get our team back to health, get them back on the field, and get ready for this football game.
We all get pretty fired up about the rankings, and you're a number 5 ranked team in the country right now. Just what do you think about that, having the 5th ranked team in FCS?
Well, we all know how hard it is to get to number 5, and we've been there before, and with the schedule we've had and the things that have happened with the Briley Moores and things, I just think it's, for this football team, they're in a good spot. There's no question about that, coming off that Illinois State game, because they've overcame those things, and they've overcome them, and they've played well. We've had other guys take new roles, and I think that's what's made it probably more. At this time, anyway, it's pleasing to be there. But what they have to know is that, you're one snap away from exiting that spot very quickly too. So, it's good to be there. Coming off that Illinois State game, I knew that was a big game, but now it just makes this game even bigger for us, that we have to get better this week and continue to improve, and we are. We just have to overcome this running back thing right now and get somebody in there to continue what we're doing. But coming off the Briley injury and all the things that happened, and I just think that they've really done a nice job of getting themselves in this position moving into this weekend.
Christian Jagan is one of your student athletes that started on offense in his career and then went to defense. As I understand it, he came to you and asked to go to defense, and he's having a really good year at safety. He's like your second or third leading tackler. Had another interception on Saturday. It just seems like he kind of fits in that mold of guys who have done one thing and then switched and done another thing at a high level here.
Well, that's, we pride ourselves on that. That is, we recruit the best athletes that we can, try to play them in the positions they're most comfortable in, but find them the positions that they belong in, that they can really excel in and be great at. And he's really became a really good safety for us. He's an intricate part of the whole thing. He's another running back that we had, that we moved. And but yeah, he had another intercept, multiple tackles, and it's just, we're fortunate to recruit those kind of players, to have the intelligence to do that, but they better have the toughness to do it too, because you just don't walk over and play defense. That's a whole different gig. And he's came over and really adapted well, and put himself in a great position to finish his senior year as a safety, because he's a 2-year starter now and a big part of this run that we're making. And the checks and the decisions he's making on the field is just as important as the plays that he's making.
Well, Indiana State coming in here, they were highly thought of, picked high in the league, and then they lose a very special quarterback. How have they adapted since losing Ryan Boyle, and what do they look like?
Well, I actually see him getting better each week. After you could see what happens in that situation. It's happened to us before. You lose a key player like that, it kind of takes the wind out of you for a little bit. But I think they have overcome that phase of going through that as a football team, because I would say the last 3 weeks, you can see the improvements and some of the adjustments they've made with the players they have now, because that does take time. We've been through that phase, and so you appreciate it, and you don't wish that upon anybody, because when you lose that position, let alone everything that went along with that quarterback for them, they've rallied around other guys now and redeveloped their plan. But you can see some of the adjustments they've made and the improvement they've made, particularly over the last 3 weeks.
Their defense seems to be maybe one of their strengths.
Yeah, their defense playing very good right now. They're very aggressive on defense and doing a good job. But he's a defensive head coach, and so you would expect that he's going to be very sound on defense and really understand that part of their game. So they've got great toughness, and they've held some of these teams. They held Illinois State to, it was 14-10 deep into the fourth quarter against a very good football team. So that alone, makes you aware of what type of team they are.
Omar
Back at
Brown.
home,
Oops, sorry. Go
yeah.
ahead, Coach. Or go ahead.
Let's talk about Omar Brown.
Omar Brown.
It sounds like he's the MVFC Defensive Player of the Week, and also maybe National Freshman Player of the Week.
Omar has played very well for us. Omar has really moved up of the chart. He's really been productive for us. What's great about Omar is it's very important to him. And when I say it's very important to him, when he messes up, he takes it personally. So as a freshman, that's hard to get. Sometimes those guys expect that, hey, I got time to grow up and I got more years left on my clock. And he doesn't play that way. He doesn't prepare that way. He prepares like a senior does. He's raw, but each time he's great about using the fundamentals and techniques. And when he's good in technique, he's making plays. And I think that kind of helped his growth too, because early on he had an intercept because of technique, and early on he failed because of technique, and now he knows that technique is the most important thing over anything else. And when he uses it, he's getting intercepts and he's making big plays, and he made a few more for us this past weekend.
When he's from Minneapolis, you hear Minneapolis, you assume he played at a big school, but I understand he went to a 2A school there, which is small in Minnesota standards. How'd you guys find him?
Well, we know most players coming out of Minnesota. We're there. We've had a lot of great players out of Minnesota, so we kind of know where the players are, but you still got to go find them, particularly when you get to his area. And you might not say it's the best football in the city, but yet there's great players in that league. You just have to go find them. And we thought he had a great talent, and it took a long time to recruit him. And I tell you what, he's just his whole family. They fit you and I, not just him. He fits you and I. His family fits you and I. The things that are important to him, fit us, and that's really what he's doing well because of his approach to the game and approach to everything. He's not doing good just because he's a good athlete. There's a lot more to Omar than what you may see on the surface.
Chance to play back at home, and then with this military appreciation home game, just your thoughts on that being part of the game on Saturday.
Well, I think it was. I saw Illinois State do something this past weekend in the military, but I think it's our duty and responsibility as if we've got the opportunity to recognize what others have done for us. If this is just a small thing that you can do, at least make it visible to everyone that there's bigger things going on than football, or those things that are going on, the people that have sacrificed for us. That's how I take it. It's more in the personal side of this is just a small thing, just to show appreciation and make sure that others recognize that there's a lot of other things going on Saturday afternoon besides a football game that are bigger to the world. But at the same time, they give us this opportunity to have that day and enjoy, the things that we have here in this country. So I think it's an awesome thing that the university is doing, but I also think it's our responsibility as well just to show what we can when we can.
3 games to go, and I know it's one game at a time, but is it also time, I know in recent years making the playoffs, to get that first round bye just seems critical to make a deep run. It's something we haven't been able to grab. Is it time to start addressing the fact that, hey, you kind of control your destiny there, it looks like, if you can continue to win? Is that something you address some or not?
I know it will be addressed. Whether I do it or not is that they know. But I also know that some of the things that they really don't understand and they really don't need to understand right now. By what I mean by that is they need to get ready for this football game. You and I and everybody in this room knows the relevance of this football game and the ones coming down the road. And they just need to stay in tune with what we've done this past month as we got ready for this month in November, because Novembers do factor into really what the outcome is deep into December. So we took a huge step on this past Saturday to set this one up, but they have to be aware that this is a dang good football team, and they'll see that it's a very good football team that lost a very good quarterback. And you may look at their record, but I tell you what, the things they do defensively and the things that they can do offensively, you better prepare that every game's a playoff game when you get November, including this one.
Is that a little bit of the concern with this one too, Coach, that you're coming off that road game against the top 7 ranked team, and next week it's another top 4 ranked team on the road, and this one's sandwiched in between. They don't have the big record trap game, if you will. Does that concern you a bit to make sure they get up? Play this one like they would last week or this next week?
It makes me aware of everything that you stated, and I don't know that it's a concern, but it is an awareness that we have to have preparing this week as we send the message to them and of what needs to get accomplished this week, just like it accomplished the last 2 or 3 weeks. You can't get too high, you can't get too low. We saw the big wins, we saw the other losses, sitting in this room talking about them. We try not to ride that wave, but at the same time, when you get into November, it becomes a part of the talk, and so they know it. So I think it'd be foolish not to make sure they're aware what our thoughts are, what my thoughts are, what you need to do, because we understand it. It's just they will get a true understanding of it this week, and we got to get ready the same way we always do. And Indiana State is, I know that was a big game last year when we went down there. That was a huge one at that time, and this is just as big to us, and I'm sure it is to them, because they're coming in here they'll be prepared, and they'll be a very good football team.
We talked about the running backs. Any other injuries that you might be nursing?
Yeah, we'll work the Vanderslice thing again. I mean, that's kind of newsworthy anyway, because Matt hasn't been able to practice the past 2 weeks, but he's played each Saturday, so he's got the most out of himself every Saturday, and so we'll see where that leads us this week. Spencer Brown last week didn't practice last week, played the full game and played very well, so he'll be back for a full week's worth of practice. And as of today, Chris Kolerovic is still good, coming off the game. I always look for his name on the chart, because I wake up tomorrow morning and might be off the chart and he doesn't even practice. So if you always look for his name, but he played well on Saturday, and as of today, he'll be playing this Saturday. So if everything stays true this week and something doesn't happen, I foresee one maybe ghost out there that I'll deal with on Tuesday, but right now it's just Vanderslice is a possibility, and the running backs are the ones that we'll try to figure out as the week progresses.
Matthew's just a lower body. I believe he's in a boot. So.
He's in a boot every day. He should get 2 boots so he's the same height. So it's like, but he's always in a boot. But it's more preliminary to keep him so he's so you get as much heal as you can during the week, and he's always working every morning and afternoon with it. So it's just getting him to Saturdays.
I'm just wondering, how extra special is it that you're doing what you're doing when the season started? You thought you would have had Riley Moore, Tristan Board, Deion McShane. Now you got 2. Your 1 and 2 running backs are out. I mean, how special is that this team is still able to do it without those key weapons? I think you'd have thought you'd have had 9 games into this season.
That, no, that's crossed my mind because, you go back and when you saw those guys fall off, it's like, how do you replace them? And then Bradley happened so soon in the season. But really, that's what makes this very good. I like how they faced that and haven't even flinched, and the next guy in has done his job and done it very well. So we've adapted well. We've overcame. I mean, you could even say you lost a leader in Bradley because he hasn't been with us the last few weeks either. He's stayed back, and by the way, he had his baby this morning, so he is a father now. So Bradley is he took full advantage of his few months off here. So, but anyway, it has. It's been great to see our team overcome that adversity. But at the same time, it's not over. There's a lot of meat left on this bone, and that's where I just got to make sure that they stay in check and not revel in what's happened, but more look forward to what the possibilities are if you continue to get smarter and stronger as this season goes on. Anybody else? All right, thanks.